So today we'll be discussing about the garbage collection which is present in Python. So if you have a Java programming background, then you might well know about what the garbage collection is and how the JVM engine looks like. Similarly, in Python, you have Python virtual machine, that is PVM. We have not seen so far. In future videos, we might see the PVM architecture. So today let's understand what is the garbage collection and what are the different methods, and we'll also write a program to demonstrate the working of garbage collection in Python. So in the last video we saw what was memory management and how the referencing of variables was done using similar kind of diagram and illustration. So before the Python version 2.0, so currently the Python version that we are using, or currently in the market, it is 3.8. So before the Python version, that is 2.0, the Python interpreter, or wherever this shell where we used to run this Python code, that is this one, this is the shell. It only used the reference counting for memory management. Now, what is reference counting? We know, we have seen from the last video, that is how many types of references are there for one particular variable. So say for example, we have one memory location, and say I just color that this particular memory location, it has a value. Say for example, I have a value which is 3. Now this particular 3 goes inside this. Okay, I guess it's superimposed. Maybe due to the size I've just changed some time ago. Okay, so we'll just write this, that will be better. So this has value 3. Now this is referenced by a variable. So I have a variable, say A. So A has a reference to this particular memory location. Now I just changed the value of A to 4. So 4 is another memory location which is referenced. So say for example, we have this memory location, that is this one. So at a time, a variable can have only one value, means it can either refer to this particular memory block or this particular memory block. So it cannot have reference to both at the same time. So this is 4, where now A currently is referring to, and this particular connection gets terminated. So this is the basic story. So this is what we call as reference counting, means how many reference are there for this particular variable. So now currently this particular variable is having only just one reference, that is to this memory block, that is 4. Now when you have this reference counting, internally a reference cycle is created. So that is just another program just to keep track of how many variables that particular memory location is addressing to. So if I have, say, another variable, so B, which is also referring to 4, that is possible because that is another memory location. So B, if it is referring to 4, this is valid. So this is valid, this is valid, but B cannot hold two memory location at the same time. So that is not possible. A memory location can be referenced by n number of variables. The vice versa is not true in this case. So that is basically reference counting. You count how many particular references that address location or memory address is referring to. Now, as I said before, for reference counting, there exists a reference cycle. So a reference cycle is created when there is no way the reference count of each object can be reached. So it basically tracks how many references that particular variable has got. Now, reference basically consists of, or this reference cycle basically it is created with the help of say you have list, then you have tuples, then you have classes, then you have dictionaries, and finally you have functions. So with the help of all these things you basically create reference cycle. So let's create one reference cycle. It is very simple. So let's go to the Python shell, and what I do is I'll define a function that is reference cycle, and inside this we'll create a list. So that list is say L, and this is basically list creation. This we have seen, this is simple. And now what I do is I'll just append L dot append L. So is this valid? We are creating that list and we are just appending that list to itself. Yes, it is perfectly valid. There is no issue in that. And if we just call ref cycle, it basically returns nothing. So this is how we create a reference cycle manually. Internally, it is done with the help of Python interpreter and compiler. So it is handled dynamically whenever you do the garbage collection. So this is a basic structure of how the reference cycle looks like. So inside a function, I've created a list and I've appended that list to itself. So it is referencing to itself. So that is basically reference cycle. So this produces no output because we have nothing in this. So that is the basic reference cycle. So now what we need to understand is we need to understand the concept of making an object qualify for garbage collection. So that is to make an object qualify for GC. So how we can do that? That is simple. This also we have seen in the last video, that is in memory management. I'll just demonstrate it once again. So say for example we have again a list. So say the name of the list is A, and now A is a list. How do we know A is a list? We can just type it is a list, but how do we check? We'll write type of A. Yes, it is of class list. Now to this list I am appending some elements. So I'm appending L, sorry, I'm appending 1, and then A dot append 2. Okay, so now if I just call A again, it has two elements, integer elements 1 and 2. Now if we want to pictorially understand this thing, so list is also one data structure. So in the similar case what we have is we have a memory location which is created for list. So say for example I have some memory location like this. These two memory locations correspond to the two variables which is created by the list. So I have say created for list variable 1 and list variable 2. So this is currently referencing to variable A that we have created. Now what we do is we'll delete this A. If we delete A and if we call A, so basically A does not exist. So this is or by this what we do is we make an object qualify for garbage collection. So G is now not there in the memory. So internally the Python compiler or the interpreter understands like there is one variable which is freed with the help of this particular keyword. So this del is basically for deletion. So in the memory that particular variable is deleted and the compiler or interpreter understands like we want to do garbage collection. So manually this is how we make an object or variable trigger for garbage collection. Now in the literature there are two types of garbage collection that is present. So I'll create a new one. Okay, save. So there are two types of garbage collection in the literature. So we have types of GC. So first type that we have is called as automatic garbage collection, and the second one is called as manual garbage collection. So uh, usually if we have very large lines of code, usually we don't do garbage collection by ourselves, since memory allocation and deallocation is dynamically handled by the Python compiler. So usually GC must be a scheduled activity due to its computational complexity, because when we have very large codes, especially when we create any deep learning models or machine learning models, usually in production we don't do explicitly GC, or we don't call explicitly for the garbage collection. But just for understanding how do we do that, so that is basically done with the help of a method of GC. So let's say I'm importing GC, and if I write GC dot, you can see the list of available methods that are there. So if I write GC dot get threshold, there is this method. So you can see it returned a list containing three entries. So it has certain meaning. So what you see here, that is this one. So that is the threshold. So what that threshold basically says. So Python schedules a GC based upon a threshold of object allocations and object deallocations. So this is the first threshold. So this is called as threshold 0, and this is threshold 1 and threshold 2. So now what is the rule of this, or what is this 700? Now 700 is returned internally by the system compiler. So what this basically says, so when you have two types of memories, that is allocated memory and deallocated memory. So when the number of allocated memory minus number of deallocated memory, that is this particular value, when you just subtract these two, and if its value is greater than threshold, in our case it is 700. So in this case what happens is it will trigger your garbage collection. So that is the basic understanding of what this three parameters is. So by this you do automatic garbage collection, so it is internally triggered by the interpreter. Now as I mentioned, there is one more garbage collection, so that is called as manual garbage collection. Now manual garbage collection is triggered with the help of gc dot collect by using this method. So here for automatic you had gc dot get underscore threshold. This is for automatic and this is for manual. Now if we go in the compiler and if we just type gc dot collect, it is basically returning 0. because just by typing the fully qualified name, or just by typing the method itself, it's not understandable like what is happening inside. So better we write a program for this. So there is this program which demonstrates the use of manual garbage collection. In the real world, you need not do manual garbage collection, it is done automatically. Just for understanding how it is done, so what we have is we import a GC, that is the library for garbage collection, and we basically put a counter variable, that is I is equal to 0. Now first and foremost, what we said here is like we want to do the reference counting. So usually memory allocation or garbage collection together goes hand on hand with reference counting and garbage collection. So you basically need to define a reference cycle. So for creating a reference cycle, I basically write this particular line. So it is simple as that. So whatever we have seen here, so here instead of list, what I'm doing is I'm creating a dictionary. So this is not a set, this is a by default, it creates a dictionary. So now in dictionary, what I'm doing is I am just appending this line, and then I'm just printing. So that is the basic idea of this reference cycle. Now you might be wondering like what this particular line is. So if you think in dictionary, we don't have indexing, right? And what by this happens? So let's do it statically. So in the similar case, what we do here is we create another dictionary. Say we have D, and we just write like this. So if we type D, it will return two braces, and if we uh, type of D, it says it is class dictionary, so it is of dictionary class. Now according to the syntax, if we put, so let's say D of 0, it will definitely throw an error, because in Python dictionaries, you don't have the concept of keys, so it cannot be indexed. So indexing concept is not there, it is for a tuple and list. For certain dictionary, this is not there. But what here, if you just observe closely, we are doing is we are doing the same thing. So what we did for list, we are creating that list, and to that list we are appending the originally created list. So the same line we are just doing here. So in dictionary, we are just putting that dictionary back again. So what happens when we do this? So when we again write D of 0, and if I assign this to that dictionary again, it will not print an error. And if I just print D, it will basically return a dictionary containing a key value. That key is basically 0, that is we have passed here, and then it returns a dictionary which contains nothing, so that is dot 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 dot. So that is what we do here, and for each iteration I'll get this so starting from I is equal to 0, I will have a specific range of garbage collection. So say I'm doing it for 10 or 20, so it will print from 0 to 19. If I have 20 cycles, or if I have 10 cycles, it will print from 0 to 9. That is a basic idea of this particular function. So that is basically, it is counting the reference counting. And here what I do is I just call the gc.collect, that is for manual GC. So it is characterized by this. If in a program you have gc.collect, that means you're doing the manual garbage collection. And before this, as we saw here, when we ran this particular line of code, that is gc.collect, it returned 0. So the same thing you will get here, that is this is nothing but formatted print statement. So we know already, we have used in other videos. So this is the same story with this. So usually after this output we'll get gc collected is equal to 0 because there are no objects so far we have created uh, which qualifies for garbage collection. Now here what we do is we just print the cycles for creating. So say initially I just want only 10 cycles, so I in the range of 10, so it will run from 0 to 9, that is n minus 1. We know what the range function does, and in range function what I'm doing is I'm just calling the reference cycle. So in reference cycle, first it will take the value of I is equal to 0, it will print this, and it will print this particular line. Then I value gets incremented, it goes to 1, 2, 3 up till 9. You get all this print one by one, and it will do gc dot collect, and it will collect all those variables, that is 0 to 9. It will go to collected, and finally it will say collected these many objects, that is 10 objects. So let's go ahead and just run this. You can see before the program execution, the garbage collected, that is this particular line, it was 0. Then creating cycles, and then every time the reference cycle ran, it just printed that particular line, and till 9 it just printed, and finally it collected 10 objects. If we want to do this for 20 objects, you can do it, and it will print 0 to 19, and it collected 20 objects. So this basically demonstrates the use of or working of how the manual garbage collection works. And there are two major types of manual garbage collection. So first way of garbage collection is, what you can do is you can have time based garbage collection. So in time based garbage collection, first notice it is simple, and since from the name itself we can make out it's time based, so here the gc is called after a fixed time interval. So that is time based garbage collection. And the second type of garbage collection is called as event based garbage collection. So since it happens once in an event, so happens when user does some activity, like say happens when user exits an application, or the application itself returns to an idle state. So it basically has the idea of the life cycle of garbage collection. So in these two cases, the event based gc gets triggered. So this is the idea or big picture of how the gc is there in Python. Now there are some methods that are seen in this gc. So obviously I'll not show all of them, but a few of those methods which I think you should know. So first is something called as gc dot. If you just type this, and it will just list out all the available uh, methods that is there. So I just want to show that is tracked, and basically is tracked method returns true if it tracks that particular objects. So if there are any objects which are created or which is under the observation of garbage collection or garbage collector, it will basically return true. Else if it is not under the observation, it will return false. So we need to pass some object. So object is this particular, so you can pass any of these, and if I just run this, it will return true because it is currently collected and it is under the observation of garbage collector. So that's why it is returned as true. And if I just call this again, gc dot tracked, and if I just say 0 any particular variable, it is say it's false. And if I have say other variable, because we created a dictionary, it is false, because all those things were initially there and now it has some elements, so we want to pass this. So these particular things are under the current observation or under the control of the garbage collection. So that is basically gc dot is tracked. Then you have something called as gc dot get underscore count. So it will basically show you the count of objects, not these objects, that is 20 objects, that are other objects which are there internally, that is created. So this is count 0 and count 1, count 2. So that basically returns a tuple of objects that is collected, which are required for future release, and there are other parameters that is there internally, that when you work more on garbage collection you'll get to know what are these parameters. And then there is one more, that is garbage. Okay, it's not callable, that means it is just a variable. So gc.garbage that returns empty, so it returns a list of objects basically which the collector found to be unreachable but could not be freed. Means like initially it was under the inspection like it has to be freed, but then later it was found like it could not be freed. So any such objects are there in garbage. So currently in our garbage collection there are no objects, that's why it returned an empty list. Then what we have is we have something called as gc dot stats, gc dot get stats. It is a method. So just look into this, what it returned. So it returned a list of dictionaries, and there are basic 3 dictionaries. So first dictionary says like collections, collected and uncollectible. So collections, there are some count 34, 341 and 0. There is another dictionary consisting of these 3 things. So it basically returns a list of 3 permanent generations dictionary containing the collection statistics since your interpreter started. So whenever your Python compiler started, or whenever you were doing the programming, so it did the garbage collection behind the hood. So it's basically giving that stats and not the current activity which you did. So that's basically these parameters which you get. And if you want to know more about these parameters and you want to get into the details of this, obviously there are other methods and other variables which are there. So for that I suggest you to visit this particular website. I'll just put the link in the description, so make sure you check this out. So this is from docs.python.org. so for the latest version, that is 3.8.5, it has the garbage collection interface. So all the methods that we saw some in this video, that is get count, and then we currently saw that is tracked. Then there are other methods for freeze, then garbage, and there are other methods like what we currently saw, that is threshold. Yeah, we saw this thing for automatic garbage collection. Then for this, that is gc.getStats, the 3 variables, that is collections, collected and uncollectible. So you can read this doc for getting more information about the garbage collection which is there in Python. So well, that was all regarding the idea of garbage collection in Python 3.8.5. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you found you got educated watching this video, please do like, share, comment, and if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. Thank you very much for watching this video.